I don't think he dived any of them.
So the Crystal Palace one, where it took him 2 seconds.
Nope.
It don't take
he didn't
two.
dive.
Can't.
I watched
okay,
that.
it was like
I
a
watched
second.
it.
I'll give it a second.
I watched it like 55 times. Literally, I watched it like 55 times. I'm telling you, the man didn't dive.
Kyle!
The man didn't dive. He went through him.
He
went through him.
Kyle,
what are you talking
I need to
about?
bring out the video
Listen,
for you now, because obviously you didn't watch it properly. Your screen went full HD.
I got that full HD every day now, bro.
Moving on to the last game of the weekend, or the last one we're talking about. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Brilliant game. Obviously Liverpool won 4-3. You know,
Speroni, man.
I know Speroni gifted there. But there was a few contentious. Cool. Even so we've got I say contentious. Obviously Speroni gifted 100%. The Salah one, I think he should have easily come out for that. Because the ball was in the air and he didn't come out for it properly. But in the Mane goal, I don't know if you've seen the replay where Robertson actually handballed it on the left flank, and like it was deliberate handball. I think the ball's going out of play, and he just tapped it back in, and then slid and passed it to Mane. Good goal in the end anyway. But that made it 4-2. But in between all that, what's his name? Salah took another tumble. Now this is probably what 3 times.
The one where he fell on his backside.
Yeah.
Okay.
This time. This is for about 3 times in maybe the last 5 weeks or so. That he's been accused or has took a dive. Now in Newcastle, he ran into the box, and I think there was a slight tug on his arm. Yeah, a little slight tug on his arm, and he just threw his arms in the air as he does, arch his back. What Adam say, like a bad bee. And just arched his back and went and dropped it low to the ground. I think got a penalty for that. People said he dived. Not 100% sure. For me, it was a penalty, but he did dive because what actually happened to him didn't cause him to fall like that. The Brighton one, 2 people. I thought it was just 2 or maybe 1 came. One started kicking his leg and then actually just took him out, pulling his shirt as well. And for me, that was a penalty, no dive. But the Crystal Palace one, that was ridiculous because Saka came up behind him, and this obviously, to put it bluntly, he kicked Salah's leg, but it was really, he barely touched him, but he kicked his leg, a little tap on his leg as he tried to get the ball. Salah took about 2 seconds and realised, oh, I've been kicked. Let me drop to the floor. Now, there's an argument to say, well, you can't kick someone, it's a foul. But is it, what is a foul exactly? Surely it's about being impeded. Not contact. Contact if I go like that, that's not a foul. So if I go like that, is that a foul? So if I go like that, is that a foul? If you haven't been impeded, then surely it's not necessarily a foul. If he had gone down in the same motion of being kicked, I think you couldn't argue with the referee to give it a penalty for that. But the fact that he didn't go down, for me, it says that obviously the kick is not what sent him down. He decided, oh wait, I've been kicked. It didn't happen straight away. Well, let me go down. Referee didn't give the penalty, but he also didn't give him a booking. And the problem with that now, well, I said a problem. He didn't give the penalty, which is the correct decision. Should have booked him because he dived. But you can only get retrospective action if the referee is successfully conned, i.e. the referee gave a penalty. Then you can get retrospectively banned. But I think, and I know we're talking about Salah this weekend, and before the Liverpool fans, I've seen your comments on my video, on the Premier League review. It's not all about Salah. Yes, this week he dived, but in a few weeks ago, Vardy took probably one of the worst I've ever seen. Like, it was so bad. For me, just send him off. Just for that. It was the manager should have subbed him off. It was such a bad dive. Like, the man was nowhere near. He just took a big dive through the air, literally. Harry Kane did something similar against Wolves a few weeks back. But because these players are not being punished, I think Vardy may have been booked. Harry Kane wasn't. Yeah, was he booked? Oh, so maybe it might be the other way around then. Harry Kane may have been booked another one, and Vardy wasn't. But yeah, no penalty was given for Vardy when he wasn't booked either. Because these players aren't getting banned for it, it just means that every week they can try it again, knowing that the consequence of it is not harsh enough. a player might not go in for a 50, like a high, a dangerous challenge, or take someone out outside the box because they're afraid of the punishment, a red card, a suspension. The punishment for diving is so insignificant compared to the reward for it, especially in the penalty area, that it enables diving. The FA are literally enabling diving. Additionally, when referees don't give fouls unless a player drops to the floor, for me that also enables diving. It takes me back to I think it was Jay Rodriguez, West Brom against Arsenal, the Emirates, a couple seasons ago, where he was fouled inside the area, clearly impeded, dropped to the floor, tried to get back up, did get back up in the end, and shot went past the post. Nothing given. But the play that ensued after that, the advantage given, he was actually at a disadvantage at that point, because by then he was slow to get to the ball. Keeper started coming now. It made it more difficult. But because he didn't drop to the ground and spread out his legs and appeal for a penalty, the referee didn't give it. And for me, they need to start giving fouls. One where if you are impeded, regardless if you go down, you give that foul. Because in the middle of the pitch, they'll give it. And additionally, whether the referee books them, whether the referee, even if it's a second yellow, whether the referee sees it, doesn't see it, whatever, I think all diving needs to be reviewed after the matches and banned. I think that's the only way you're going to get rid of it.
Yeah, the thing is, especially like with Salah, and we're mentioning him because it's happened more than one occasion in the past week, in terms of speaking about
recently.
Whether you agree with it, because we also had, so there was also two other incidents with Salah as well. You had the Bournemouth one, when they played Bournemouth before Christmas, and he was fouled by Cook, I believe it was, outside of the box, badly, pretty much took him out, but he carried on and scored a goal. For me, if that was inside the box, he's going down. And the evidence is that is clear because it's happened in the past few weeks. He went down. I'm not saying he was wrong or right to you, but I'm saying if it was in the box, he would take the penalty kick, and he's in his body's right to do this. He was fully impeded, so fair enough. He went down, fair enough. And also the Arsenal game, Socrates kicked him from behind, and he went down and got a penalty. He was impeded, fair enough. He was kicked in the back of his leg, but he went down. The thing is, as you say, if he knows that if he gets touched in the box and he goes down, he's going to get a penalty, then he's going to go down every time, regardless of whether it is fully impeding him. And also, if he gets touched in the box and the referee gives a penalty, even though it may not have, and we look back on it and we say, it may not have been a penalty or not, he's not going to get banned because he was contact in the box. And so we've seen this in the past where the panel looked at it and say, no, he was, there's not enough to say that he dived because there was contact.
And it's like, but you need to use a logic to say, a man kicked your left leg, you drop holding your head, but because there was contact in the box, he dived. But because, as you said, because there's contact, they'll say, oh no, he did. So literally, it has to be a case of, if you dive when there is no contact, that's the only way you're going to get banned. But that's not going to take out diving. Yeah. That's why people stick out legs and initiate contact, for example. It's contact. That set me down. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when they initially did the report, when it first came out that it was going to be used, this is what the FA said. They said that they're hoping to change. They're hoping that players who win a significant advantage by diving will get a 2-match ban in the new rules, right? The governing body are hoping that the change will act as a strong deterrent to players attempting to deliberately deceive match officials, but only be made on incidents deemed a clear violation of the rules. Now, if they've looked at this season at the end of the season and said, "Look, has this deterred any players?" then they have to change the rules because it's obviously not doing what you thought it was going to do. Like, and when it first came in, we probably thought it's a good idea. They're finally doing something to stop it. But then when you deep it, it's like, well, I think 2 players have been banned for it.
And then Nias was the first to get banned.
And also was it a West Ham player?
I can't remember the other one.
I feel it was like a West Ham player or something.
But the thing is, Nias got banned, and then the week after, for me, there was another incident that was similar, and they didn't. Yeah. I'm like, you are joking, man. Yeah. You are joking with the team.
Yeah. And I don't think no one this season has been banned for it. Like, so it's just like, for me, I think at least a 1-match ban should be given for a dive in a match. And whether it's a penalty or not, because also if it's not even in the area, as you said the other day when I spoke to you, I said, "What? Is he going to kick too much?" He said it's not in the box. It doesn't win a penalty for it. So he won a free kick, but it's not because it was not a penalty. You're not going to get too much ban for it. So it's just like, it's just a mess.
Kai-
Like the Harry Kane one was outside of the box,
Yeah, that was outside the box,
so
but-
he could have got a free kick for it. But that should be a 1-match ban.
Kyle, Mark Clattenburg said something, and it's interesting. I didn't really consider it. Last year, was there any instance of Salah diving last year? No, it doesn't come to my mind.
No, I don't think so.
Not that I remember.
Not that I can remember.
Who was on penalties last year?
Milner.
He was on them.
Who was on penalties last
Milner.
year?
For Liverpool. For Liverpool.
For Liverpool.
Milner.
Milner.
Who's on penalties this year?
Salah.
Well, what Milner wasn't on the pitch when Salah took the
At
penalty.
the start of the season,
was Milner.
it was Milner.
Okay.
But Milner doesn't play anymore, so
Yeah.
now it's been delegated to Salah.
So who's taking the penalties?
Well, actually, Mane took one but
Yeah.
missed, and now he doesn't take them.
Who
Yeah.
took the penalties when Salah dived?
Salah.
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 So Mark Clattenburg says Salah was accused of going down easily in the win penalties against Arsenal and Newcastle. In all these situations, he has no chance to score because sometimes his back is to goal or whatever. Is that? As you mentioned, the Bournemouth one, he's running through on goal, clear chance to score, so he carries on. The other instance, no chance to score. So it seems he prefers to try and win a penalty. As he's Liverpool's penalty taker, he will know winning a spot kick means he has a free shot at goal. He's then likely to increase his chances of winning the golden boot. How much do you think that is actually playing a part? 'Cause I'm just thinking, last year we didn't have this. He's the same player, same guy.
No,
365 days. Like, how much do you think of the case of that he's taking the penalties? And we know that in the pre-season, there's issues about penalty takers. Mane wanted more involvement or just of Liverpool's goals.
Yeah.
We saw at the beginning of the season when they played Spurs, it was clear like one wasn't passing to the other. But it looks like now Salah's been moved to the striking position. He's the main guy. So obviously, it's kind of all geared towards him. How much do you think that's actually playing a part in him going down? Where last season he might even do a little drag back, go through 3 players, and put it in the top corner.
I can't say he's a different player. I can't say he's going down more easily than he did before. I think the main difference is this has only come about since his position changed. Because at the start of the season, up until a certain point, we didn't see this when he was out on the right and Firmino was
when Milner was taking penalties. That's what I said, I don't know. I don't know.
The thing is, I think
Milner got kicked out the team long before he got put.
Nah, man.
Did he? I don't think so,
No. Milner's been injured though. When Salah's got his penalty, I still think Milner's their main penalty taker.
Yeah, if he plays,
Like,
he
if
would
he
be.
plays.
At 0-0 or 1-0 maybe, but if it's like 3-0, it might be Salah.
Yeah, potentially. But I've not seen when Milner's on the pitch
A penalty, yeah.
a penalty that Salah's taken.
Yeah.
Like, and so I still think Milner's the number 1 penalty taker. But yeah,
He is,
when
but he's not-
Firmino
he's not
scored a
first
hat
choice
trick,
anymore.
when Firmino scored a hat trick with a penalty against Arsenal, Klopp said afterwards it was nice of Salah, as he was the penalty taker, to give the ball to Firmino.
And who was on the pitch? Was Milner not on the pitch?
No, he wasn't.
No,
I mean, they played.
No, it wasn't
No,
the
he
pitch at the time.
wasn't.
It wasn't the
Okay.
pitch, Yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, now that he's the more central figure. So like they've switched it up a bit where they've got Mane on one side, Shaqiri on the other side, Firmino behind Salah, right? If he's the furthest man forward and he sprints into the box and someone lofts the ball over to him to run onto, he might not have the option to cut back to anyone anymore. So he can't even if he can't score and he can't assist. I mean,
He's going to go down.
yeah, I mean, what are his other options? Like maybe before, when Firmino was the striker and he was on the right, he had Firmino by his side.
But that being said, I
play to.
don't actually remember the Arsenal one. I don't know how that one developed. But the Newcastle one, he's running from the right. The Crystal Palace and the Brighton one, he was on the right of the area as well. But the Brighton and the Crystal Palace one, he was both surrounded by players, so he had nowhere to go. The Bournemouth one, where he was through the middle, obviously it was him and then pretty much the goalkeeper. After that, I don't know. It's just something to put out. And I thought he didn't go down last season.
Can I also just say that none of those decisions I disagree with. I think
The Crystal Palace one.
penalties.
Okay,
None
no.
of them were dives.
I'm not even. No.
None
stop.
of them were dives.
Okay, there's two things you're saying: penalty and dive. I'm not even saying
Oh.
what's not a penalty or not.
Oh,
The
it's
question
not
is,
about the penalty.
the question is
I don't think
whether
any
or
of them
not he
dived.
dived.
I don't think he dived in any of them.
So the Crystal Palace one,
Nope.
where it took him 2 seconds.
Nope.
It don't
Nope,
take
he didn't
two.
dive.
Can't. When we
He
think,
didn't
when we,
take 2 seconds. I watched
Okay,
that.
it was like
I
a
watched
second.
it.
I'll give you a second.
I watched it like 55 times. Literally, I watched it like 55 times. I'm telling you, the man didn't dive.
Kyle,
The man
Kyle,
he went through him.
if we threw through him.
Went through him.
Kyle,
What are you talking about?
I need to bring out the video for you now, because obviously they watch it properly. Your screen went full HD.
I got that full HD every day now, bro.
Kyle,
Yeah,
look at this.
I'm looking.
Look at this.
I'm
He's
looking.
gonna say again. What is that?
Huh?
What is that? He's throwing himself to the ground.
No,
Kyle.
no, look.
What is that? Oh, come on. Joanne, did you see it?
No.
I haven't seen it.
Let me tell you what's happened. Let me explain to you what's happened.
Let's
Let me
see this.
explain to you. Let me explain to you.
Nah, man.
Oh, come on. Of course, that's what I'm saying.
How do you just fall over like
Let me
that?
explain to you.
And if
Let me explain to you. If you watch it, right,
Man said he got
if you watch
kicked
it- no, if
but
you
from
watch it-
behind
no,
and
it's
felt
not.
back like that.
No,
What is that?
If you watch it, right, as he turns on the ball, he knows where the player is.
Yes.
So he turns on the ball and he's leaning back to not only shield the ball, but he's using the player to brace himself. Like, you're not gonna get this ball. When he's off balance. He's not on balance
Cool,
because
that's
he's
cool.
leaning back. He gets kicked.
That's not what happened.
It's
He got
it's
kicked.
one motion.
No, it wasn't one motion, Kyle.
It's
The
one
kick
motion.
happened and the foot came back to the ground. Then he dropped. And the thing is, he didn't fall. Like, if he just fell down, he threw himself down.
So are you saying it's a penalty?
Penalty, and he didn't dive.
Dema Gallagher says, correct decision, no
Yeah.
penalty, but
Yeah.
should have booked him.
Yeah.
God, the thing's a dive. Listen, Liverpool fans are gonna love you, but they're gonna love you.
No, listen, I don't think you understand how. Like, when you're off balance, it's the same thing when you're running at speed, right? And people say, "Oh, he barely even touched him and he's gone down." When you're running at full
I
speed,
understand
right?
that. It takes
And
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And when-
Kyle,
and when you're off
he
balance,
didn't fall. He
my-
dropped to the ground.
watch it again. Watch it
I've seen it. Do you know what time I watched it? Kyle, he went like this. He got kicked and he went. He threw himself down. He didn't fall down. Kyle,
He was kicked.
and
His right leg went. He tried to get balance back.
No, he didn't
He's
try. He
gone
didn't
down,
try to do
and
anything.
his left leg has gone up, and he's like, "Oh,
he realized that, damn, I should have gone down for that.
come on, man, he didn't dive, man."
But as I said,
But on
for me, I'm talking about diving in general, because I don't want to
no,
get pinned on Salah.
On diving as a whole,
Oh,
on diving as a
the
whole,
comments.
what I think
Gonna get
is,
onto me.
what I think is that they need to scrap the whole retrospective ban thing, or we're going to review it because it's all opinionated and it's retrospective ban is really going to happen. I think what needs to happen is a new system needs to be implemented from next season, and I think the system that could potentially work, it would be coupled with the introduction of VAR. So if a referee reviews the incident, say for example it's a penalty incident, and he's going to look at it, he's like, I'm not sure. VAR say, oh, you need to have a look at it. He's going to have a look at it. He said, the player actually tried to con me here. He's fully trying to dive. I think the FA needs to say, if the referees think that the players are genuinely trying to con them, and they can see this on the VAR, they've had a look at it, send them off. Straight red card. No more yellow cards, just send them off.
Yeah,
Refs, go have a
The
look.
Premier League is not gonna allow. They're not allowing referees to have a look at this on-screen VAR during the matches.
No. But it's a penalty decision.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
what
no,
I'm saying. But
it
the
will still
decision
be
is
decided
made
by upstairs.
Made by upstairs. He's the referee in the Premier League next season. He's not going to be able to go and watch footage.
No,
back.
that's what I'm
He's
saying.
only being told upstairs whether it's a dive or not. So he's not going to be.
Why is that?
That's just
That's
how it's
how
been
they do
tried.
it.
That's how the Premier League are running out. Same way they've run out in the FA Cup and.
Well, I want to know,
So then that means the refs are pointless. Then you might as well just have the.
No, because they don't review every decision. Only kind of goals and
Yeah, but then that
goal
means
scoring incidents.
that still makes them think, because if the ref said it's not a penalty, so
so
the refs won't get closure because they.
No, the referee's decision will be overruled. So if the referee says no penalty,
Yeah, but
and
if
VAR looks at it, VAR will say no, it's a penalty. He can't. Yeah, he has to give the decision.
and then that's where I think they did it wrong. I think the ref needs to
Should overrule his
should
own
look
decision.
and see and let him have that decision, and not because then if they look
Like
at
the,
it
like
back,
the World Cup, basically.
yes,
Where
because
they'll say, have a look
if
at
they
it.
look back and say no, it's a pen, and then the ref has to give it, the ref now is gonna think, oh shit, can I actually get things right now? Was that he might start second guessing? It's like a mental thing.
Yeah,
so I feel like they
But
should
I
let
guess
these.
the referees are trained and told that they're all on the same team. So like it's not like.
He's not trying to do
gonna
one
be-
over.
Yeah, you're not going
No,
to
you're
be able
not.
to see everything. So
You're not.
There's going to be.
I
We're basically
hear
giving
that,
you
but-
extra eyes on the pitch. And
But the
telling you what
human
this is
mind,
I hear what you're saying, 'cause you
the
wanna see
human
it for
mind,
yourself.
human like if if you told me something happened and I didn't see it,
Yeah.
how do I feel if I don't get a chance to see it?
Yeah.
I
But this is the thing. You're being trained to say you cannot see everything on that pitch.
Yeah.
I hear
So
that.
you-
Nah,
that's
no,
fine.
I know what you're saying, but you're saying
But
like
I want
you
to
want
see
to
it.
get okay. I can't see everything on the pitch. Now show me.
Like, show me that
he's
you're.
not. They're not gonna get a chance
That's
to
the
see it
problem,
until
that's
it
what I'm
gets
trying to
started.
say.
But then it's not on the referee's back. If this is how it is, this is how it is. It's not on the referee's back.
No, it's
but then
not.
But then what would need to happen is if, like, say for example, the referee from next season, the referee does give a penalty, and then VAR have a look and goes, no, we're gonna overrule your decision. The player dived, so it's not a penalty. He's taking a clear dive tumble. Then the referee goes over and sends him off. The referee walks over and says, "You're off. It's not. VAR's told me you dived.
Yeah.
You actually cheated me because I actually gave the penalty. So now you're off. You're off the pitch. Go down the tunnel.
Yeah.
The only thing is,
That's
I would
cool.
say, the only thing is, I would say on that is that it's so hard to come to that general conclusion straight away within a matter of time that they have, because so many of the dives are so 50-50 to say yes or no. So I feel like
That's why I need to see. That's why I need to see.
I feel like what's happening and what we're seeing with the fact that no one's getting restricted ban is that
because
they're going to say we're not sure, go with your decision, and they're not going to be able.
No, but
I don't think.
I hear what Carl say. If they decide, it's not clear, so I can't give it, then don't give it. Cool. No, I said don't give it. If you believe it's not a dive as a VAR, you don't give the decision in the time allotted. If you believe it is, send them off. Like, and I told you, there's gonna be some who are gonna get sent off. Like Vardy, that one, you're gonna get sent off for it, or you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna risk it. You're not gonna risk the fact that you might get sent off. So, and it may just be a one match ban, because you obviously get the penalty in the game, as in the penalty in terms of somewhat you've been down to 10 men plus a 1 match ban. But it's exactly the same as looking at it after. Yeah, you can look at it. You can look at it 20 times in it, but the reality is you see the same thing. Generally, you see the same thing that you saw the first 10 times you watched it after you watch it 50 times. So I think they can. But yeah, you have to be people getting banned. For
For the Salah one on Crystal Palace, he ain't gonna get sent off for that.
No, he wouldn't, because there was contact.
Yeah.
I wonder, would they give a penalty for it? Or no, because it was not clear and obvious.
No. VAR wouldn't give a penalty for it. If John Moss didn't give a penalty,
Because it's not clear and obvious error.
they'll look at it and say, yeah, you've not clearly made an error.
So why did he go down? That's what I need to ask. If you're not going to give a penalty, why are you not giving a penalty? Because it wasn't a foul. Okay, so why did he go down?
Sometimes you go down.
I'm wondering. I need that question. Why did you go down?
Sometimes it does.
Did you just?
You played football. You've been nudged sometimes. Sometimes you're off balance and you little whoa.
I
You're going down.
always stay on my feet. Apart from when I get clattered by you and remember Wesley took me out that time. You remember in Hatfield? And I went around the keeper. Man came out. Oh, now the man's like he didn't touch me. Man took me out clean. Anyway, so diving. Yeah, guys, let us know what you think, man. What can actually be done to eradicate Salah? Diving from the game. I'm joking. Liverpool fans, please, I'm sorry.